Hi, almost 2 weeks of no streaming, so we have to do an update of what's happening because there's a lot of things happening. If you haven't seen what's happening with crypto, then basically you have to go to CoinGecko to check everything out. Basically we have, well, Solana did pretty well. It went down from 190 to 160 right now. Ethereum, not so much. It went from 3,100, 3,200 to 230, 250, and right now it basically oscillates between 400 to 500 US dollars. Bitcoin a little bit below 60,000, but we're regaining some momentum. And memecoins apparently right now they're not doing that bad, so we're going to check them out. Of course, trading on BullX, you have the link down below, the best platform for trading memecoins, and we're going to catch something in this video as well. This is what I'm going to try. First of all, let me check whether everything works fine and whether you can see that and answer the questions or ask the questions. I'm going also to post this link to Twitter so that anybody can join. Let me check that. Streaming on YouTube right now, trading meme coins. So we have it. Let me check whether you can really see it and whether you can ask questions, but I think it's fine. Yep. We have everything. So if you have any questions, let me know. This is going to be an update. So last time, if you can remember, we basically were at 20K. That was the all-time high for this portfolio. That was basically 2x that we did. A little bit less than 2x. I think it was like 80% maybe. So right now we have 2.5 Sol more to add. This is what I want to add. And basically in the past time, I basically added a little bit to cheese, a little bit to wine. You can see my transactions here. So those were the coins that basically I have in my portfolio. I kept on adding them. So we added cheese, wine for the food meta, but also culture meta. They're doing quite a lot when it comes to different bots. So I really like both cheese and wine. And also they're super low right now. I think cheese is at $3 million market cap, right? I think at the top they were like 18. So that was super high. And if you look at wine, well, it's even worse. It was at $3 million. Right now it's 150. So that's a 20x from the top. Of course, from all-time high. Of course, it doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that they will go back there, but it's worth taking a risk, at least from my side. Recently they were at around 1 million. So basically that's what I'm targeting right now. Multiple buys here. Of course, not a financial advice here. Now, I have also added a couple of more things. I'm going to show you. So basically added more to lock-in, my favorite coin probably. If you check the lock-in, the top was 45 million, I think. It was closing to 48, 49, never reached $50 million market cap. Currently chilling at around 15. I added a little bit here also. Recently, so yeah, I want to have as much lock-in as I can. On the other hand, from other stuff that I'm holding quite a lot of is definitely Epic. So currently, of course, that's a negative PNL, but Epic is created by Mando and he's constantly tweeting about, has a huge audience that sits below $10 million. So I believe truly that this kind of coin can have a really huge potential, especially if we resume the bull market. Right now we have this week, which is really hard. As you can see, especially let's check even the price of Solana past 7 days. Of course, you probably know what happened on Monday. We have this Black Monday and basically everyone dumped everything. Solana went down to 113. So if you manage to catch this low and, for example, did that on leverage, then basically this was a golden hit. Even a little bit higher, if you catch it at 130, it's still 130 to 160, basically 20%. Just from today, it's like 8.7% Solana, and it went, so basically it regained the heights from 7 days ago. And that's really crazy because if you look at Ethereum, what's happening with Ethereum, then it's definitely not this kind of price action. Ethereum is sitting much below what it seated 7 days ago, because just 7 days ago, it was over $3,000 with 3,200 basically was and 3,100. So totally different price action here. So definitely it shows that this is the Solana super cycle and pretty crazy Solana super cycle, Solana meme coin cycle, and we are all for it. So that's the why definitely I'm looking at meme coins, because I think that's the most interesting narrative right now. Now, if you look at 1 month ago, then basically you have this large drop at the top. Just like 2 weeks ago, Solana was chilling at $192, which was very close to all-time high. But basically, if you look at all-time high, it was at around 259. However, if you look at them by market cap, you can see that actually we have reached the all-time high already. Even in the last 2 weeks, that was all-time high when it comes to the market cap, because before Solana never touched $80 billion market cap. Right now, it was sitting actually at $80 billion just 2 weeks ago. So this is crazy, and this is of course due to the fact that you have emissions of Solana, so you have more Solana as we go, there's this inflation, so of course even the price isn't the same, the market cap is larger. So there's still a potential to go higher, of course, and when it comes to price, you probably can still reach higher, especially if you look, for example, comparing Solana to Ethereum. There's a, I think, 4 or 5x movement. Myself, I'm probably looking at Solana at 300, 400. I'm a little bit more conservative when it comes to Solana and generally crypto. I'm not overly optimistic like people on the timeline saying that, you know, 20,000 Ethereum, 1,000 Solana, 200,000 for Bitcoin. I'm not sure this is manageable. Maybe not this year, maybe it will happen in the future, but I'm not sure about this particular cycle. So because of this kind of price action and because we haven't yet resolved everything, memes are not performing so well, because of course meme coins are the most risky assets, so people were taking the money out of the meme coins right away, and this portfolio actually went down. I checked it at on Monday, it was like $6,000, so we went from 20,000 to 6,000. I haven't sold anything, I just added to the portfolio, and we're here at 12,000, so basically doubled from the bottom. And I think we will regain this 20,000. I think, you know, it's a matter of time, but basically probably not this week. The thing is that this week is, you know, still very volatile. I'm not sure we're going to see much of the movement. Solana is definitely outperforming, but even if you see Bitcoin, then Bitcoin has still a way to go much higher. We're slowly regaining what happened on Sunday. That was the biggest drop, was from Sunday to Monday. So Bitcoin still haven't regained that. Solana did, so that's already cool. But for Bitcoin to recover that, probably Bitcoin has to see something at $62,000, $64,000. I'm pretty sure this will happen. Of course, again, not financial advice, but we have to give it a little bit of time, especially that it's still very, very tumultuous in the world. So you have the possibility of recession, possibility of, you know, this carry trade from Japan, maybe it's over, maybe not, because actually Bank of Japan is doing something, possibility of another war, many different things happening. You have US elections, so there's this tumultuous things happening all the time, a lot of things that we don't know about, and it makes for the environment for trading, which is a little bit more uncertain. So people are running away from more risky assets, especially meme coins, to maybe majors like Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin. But then again, some of the degens are still on chain trading meme coins, and we are all for it. So again, this is BullX. We're going to trade a little bit. I'm not sure whether I'm going to add a little bit here to some of the positions, or whether we're going to find new tokens. We're going to check both things, basically checking on Explore and checking on pump.fun, the interface for pump.fun. Okay, let me just answer one question. Aki saying, BullX doesn't show me chart on screen, what to do? Probably I would delete the cookies and try again, because if you go to, I think, any tokens, then, well, it shows me everything perfectly. So I would try again. I don't see any problem with BullX working right now, so probably this is working pretty fine. If you have any questions, let me know. For now, we're going to start going with also Twitter, because I want to go with shitcoins. This is the list that I have. I was showing you a couple of streams ago what's inside, and I want to find new tokens. I was recently actually watching the interview with Mitch. If you don't know Mitch, he's one of the top memecoin traders. Definitely did like, I think 2.5 million in total. I think that's down to 1.5, 1.2 right now. But anyway, over $1 million starting with one sol in February. And basically what he said, which is very important, I'm going to repeat that twice. What he said for his strategy is that he doesn't go to DEX screener, he doesn't go to CoinGecko, he doesn't go to BullX for finding new coins. He just scrolls on Twitter, and all his calls are from Twitter. He's not doing anything. He's just had a list of friends, a list of different people that are tweeting about meme coins, and that's the only thing that he's doing. And I think that's fascinating because it shows that you can only have this social signal that will allow you to trade. So we're going to do the same thing. So even though I really like both Pump Vision and Explore, where you can see basically all the coins with all the different kind of stats, we're going to go with Twitter and we're going to see whether we can find anything there. So as you can see here, you can this for Pump Vision, for Explore, you can go with trending or gainers or losers. Also very good for checking stuff, seeing the volume, what you like in the last 1 hour, 5 minutes, 1 minute. It's all verified. You can also see, for example, whether it's already on Radium, whether it's on pump.fun. So it's very cool. But again, we're going with Mitch's strategy here, going with the list. I have, of course, different lists that Mitch probably. Everyone has a list by its own. So we're going to see whether anything is happening. And by anything happening, I'm going to, for example, look for stuff like that. So here we have Bonko, one of the guys that I follow, talking about his backs. And for example, from these things, I don't know, I think I don't know Jakub. This is something new. So this is we're going to check the token right away. So this is like a larger token already, $2.8 million market cap. So ideally, okay, so I'm not going to jump in. Maybe it makes sense. It went to like 5 million. I don't know the lore here, but the idea here is that if you see someone posting about especially someone you have on the list, someone with a lot of followers, posting a particular meme coin, and it's, for example, below like 300K market cap, then that's definitely something that's worth checking out. So yeah, so I'm not going to add Jakub here for it's too much right now. I'm going to look for something much smaller, and we're going to see whether anyone is tweeting about, for example, RTR. Let me check whether, okay, and there's someone mentioning Bull. Let me go with Bull and see what's happening there. I guess by Bull you don't mean Mumu. Is this the Pitbull? Okay, so this looks pretty nice when it comes to at least all the safety measures. Let's look at the bubble map, see like how many insiders there are. You're going to click on all. Well, that's a little bit problematic, but maybe, well, there's one cluster of 20%. So definitely the developer and the team, the insiders, are controlling a lot of supply, 20%. It doesn't show on audit here on BullX, but it's still like 20%. It's not that bad. I mean, there are worse tokens, especially for such a small coin. Yeah, definitely, okay, very interesting. I mean, it's a little bit too high for me right now, but that might be a good call. Yeah, I'm going to go Dogelet. Is that on Solana? Let's see. Usually I'm trying to look for smaller coins. Okay, so I see a lot of Dogelets, but they're like all racked, I think. So this is, yeah, everything is racked, right? Like you have multiple Dogelets or all dumped to zero. So I guess this is not the thing, unless you have something very particular. So let me know. Of course, I'm going to check all the tokens if you mention something. Let's go with Twitter and see. I wanted to check RTR. So this is something that was mentioned on Twitter. Let's check that token. This is a little bit higher as well. Developer sold 18%, top holders, so that's fine. We can go to, okay, it's a Trump token. You have many of the followers of the people I follow, so that's a good sign always. Is it the because there's a Trump token launching today, but I don't think it's this one, right? It's not the official one, but I think like one of the Trump brothers, right? I think they launched something today. I'm not sure about whether it's on Solana or somewhere else, but and probably this is not it. I'm going also to change to 1 minute chart to see more of the action. Let me check the bubble map as well. I wanted to check whether, you know, what's happening here and whether we can have any clusters. No, actually no clusters, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so going forward, no, okay. This is pretty interesting, I guess. So that was mentioned here. No one really answered. Also some spam comments, but yeah. No, so nothing really here. I'm going to check again. Also see whether there's something. Let's see whether there's something else that's happening. Yeah, I'm going to check whether. So let me check whether we have more RTR. Oh, okay. So RTR is this one, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there might. Yeah, okay. I see. This is the fake RTR, and this is the correct one. So, and the correct one, this was really launched by the Trump brothers, is $129 million. So that's about it. Yeah, so I think that's I'm definitely too late for me. Always, you know, always coins can go higher, but this is the one with the heavily controlled supply, launched officially. So this is the coin that I was mentioning. I think this is, yeah, this is already a little bit too late for me, so I'm not going to go with it. But nevertheless, it's very interesting, and of course, good for the community, good for the environment that they are interested in launching this kind of meme coin, especially through on Solana. So let's go and see whether there's something else interesting. Of course, Giga, I have it in my portfolio already. Inu. So I guess Inu is a already existing token. We're going to see what's happening here. So we have, yeah, I think the top was already. Is this the Inu? Maybe. Okay, let me go. And let's see whether we can find something interesting here. Yeah, so this is basically Mitch's strategy, as I've mentioned. I'm going to show you Mitch in a moment and how he made his millions. But I think this is one of the best strategies. If you have a good list of people, then you can really find amazing things. So Jinan was the example of like, I really ignored it. And I think I ignored it at around $10 million market cap because I thought it's too late. And of course it went up to like 60. But this is a great example because at $10 million market cap, it was already shielded by many people that I follow and many large influencers. So that was a good call. Like if you see something like that, then usually it's a good point to enter. Of course, not always works, but this is one of the cases that it really did. And I think if you look at Jinan right now, then you can see that it's performing pretty well. I mean, 20% down, but still like $56 million market cap. Here at the top, it was around 80 maybe more. Let's see for the 1 hour chart. Yeah, at the top that was around 80. So you can see it happening. Going back to Twitter and trying to see something. Yeah, definitely a lot of people today are talking about RTR, the Trump token. But there's definitely more happening. There's always some kind of small token happening, so you can always find something. Maybe not a big queen, but you know, something. We have Mitch here, so that's pretty, as I've mentioned, pretty cool one. And definitely worth checking out what he's tweeting. You can also go through his replies and try to find something there, and maybe, you know, some kind of a token. Also, he has his address public, so if you go to SolScan, you can search for gat.sol. This is his address. So if you want to find him, then this is basically how to do it. And maybe I will just cover his portfolio in the next stream, showing you exactly what he has. But basically, I did that in analysis on how to find tokens early. But we're going to do it live because, of course, his portfolio changing as well. So it's good to know what's happening. Yeah. So let me see whether there's anything happening here, but I think nothing really significant in the last hour. Also this time of the day, this is not prime hours for the US. The US market is of course leading the way here. So probably for the leading time, I would need to wait for like 2-4 hours maybe if I were to find something. But already right now we have a little bit of action. So this is good for if you want to just go through something. We have Nero, of course, for the new Doge, but actually Nero, the top one is on Ethereum, which is very interesting. So again, Jinan as well. I actually want to, maybe I just go back to Jinan and add it to the tokens I observe. Actually, yeah, I actually have it here. Because I think Jinan might perform well in the end. I mean, okay, maybe I add a little bit here and to have it in my portfolio. Of course, that's a small amount, but at least I won't forget about it. This way it can sit there. I'm not sure it's easy 1 billion, but yeah, it's definitely possible, especially if we go back to the cut meta. Yeah, so we have seen all that, so I'm not sure anything will appear. We can of course see what will happen over time. Basically, the ideal scenario here is if you have a group of people that you observe and you have this kind of list, then basically if someone posts something, then the first 10 to 15 minutes are the most important. If it's a small coin, then you can go in quickly. Of course, at this point, probably following Mitch doesn't make that much sense because there are so many people and bots following him that if he only mentions the token, then right away people will jump into that and probably you will be slower. So it's always better to follow someone with a much lower followers rate, especially people that have like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers. Those are the best for the alpha. So you can see the best thing actually you can do is actually go to Mitch and see who he is following actually. And this is actually might make sense for finding through the list people that are consistently calling different meme coins, because he's all about the social game, right? So in his followers, he has like definitely very interesting people. Of course, not a lot of them, because there are many people that are already like, you know, with the larger accounts, like for example R28, another very well-known meme coiner, but he already has 22,000 followers. So definitely it's much higher. If you want to have the best alpha, you need to find smaller accounts, and by smaller I mean basically up to like 3,000, 4,000 followers. Sometimes up to 10,000 it's fine. I'm definitely on the smaller range, but probably more on towards the medium. I would find even smaller accounts that are tweeting about particular tokens, because that's the best case scenario. So for example, here you have a guy who probably called for autism as the token, and he has like 3,000 followers. That might be a good follow. There's more guys like that here on the list. this one as well. I think I've seen him in the replies for Mitch. So definitely many different people that are worth following. So check that out. If you really want to do your homework, this is probably the way to do it. And then you'll be much better prepared to see what's happening. So definitely a lot of people from my list are talking about Jinan all the time, as it seems. But basically that was a nice token and a nice price action, and one of the higher going token in the past couple of days. Let's see whether there's something interesting on Pump Vision and maybe in Explorer as well. I'm just yep. This is Bloop. We're going to look for definitely the smaller tokens. Sometimes it's hard, but you can look right away at the statistics, and you can even do the quick buy on BullX for the amount that you want. So for example, if you just want to grab $50 worth of particular token, you can with one click do that. But of course it might be hard, especially if you have things like that. Top 10 holding 70%, RTR, Ponzi, Solana. So you have different things, but sometimes it's really hard to tell. And that's why discovering coins this way is definitely not optimal. It's much better to go on Twitter. So I don't see anything in particular. Yeah, Momo is definitely great. So what I'm going to do is basically, if you have any questions, let me know. There's going to be a shorter stream. We probably do something much longer next time. I'm probably going to add this to Sol to some of the tokens that I have. As you can see, Tramp basically went down totally. I don't want to add anything. I'm probably not going to sell right now, but this is the token that's definitely totally dead. I wanted to check autism. Yeah, it's super low. I wanted to add a little bit here for the autism, because I think this is something that's very prevalent on crypto Twitter especially. Culture went down a lot. This is another great coin, so I wanted to add maybe even a little bit more, 175. This is for the token, the one I like, Man of Culture. There are a couple of other stuff. So things like Stun are very interesting. Wawa, but I have already a lot of that. Meta is definitely great. You have Chat. I think, let me check whether... Yeah, Chat is already around $10 million market cap, but still, it's a pretty good token. And goes into this meta of culture tokens. I added Silence recently, so it was pretty cheap, 600,000. I basically bought it at 560. As you can see, Silence is of course one of the memes that's appearing pretty often, so I really like it and added that to the list. I have many tokens that went down completely, like YWGI. You wouldn't get it. One of the memes, but you know, this is basically sitting at $6,000, which means that it's totally abandoned. Someone would need to do a community takeover, do memes, and then it might restart again. I'm not selling that because that's worth probably nothing. I mean, if I were to sell it, that's probably like 0.1 Sol, I think. Yeah, 0.15. So I actually prefer to keep it and see whether there might be always some community takeover in the end. So multiple coins that I added as well. Things like Michi, I think that went quite down below 100 million. This is another contender for the top cat coin. I think I might add Michi as well to the coins that I have. Well, Cook is definitely something I really like. So let him cook. $3 million market cap, so pretty low one. What else do we have? We have Aura, but Aura is already pretty high. I think like multiple millions, 20 something, yeah, 23. So I'm not adding more at this rate. I'm trying to add to smaller coins. Super S, but I have a lot of Super S already. This is one of my favorites. POV went down super much a lot. This is the coin that we have discovered on the stream. It seems like it's getting abandoned, but yeah, if there's some kind of community takeover, then it might revive, because that's one of the things. And of course we have Mumu. Mumu went quite a lot, to like over $200 million. Still one of the favorites in a full bull market in Mania that will go over $1 billion, but of course we never know whether that will happen or not. So okay, add it a little bit here. Let me check what I want to add here. Yeah, maybe I go with Mitch. I have so little of Mitch, and that's like a proper coin that, you know, I want to have more of Mitch. Definitely, that should be a safe bet. Of course, you never know with meme coins. So that's it for this. Let me just answer some questions. So from random degen, you mentioned discovering coins on BullX view isn't optional, and you would look in the TL. Is there anything else you do to find coins early except for looking at the list? To be honest, definitely. If not TL, if not Twitter, then actually BullX is probably the second best thing, either on Explore and Pump Vision. And I would just basically, if you want to have coins, especially after sub 100K, you basically stare at this screen at Pump Vision. You just stare at it, and basically, if you find something interesting, so for example, I like fish right away because it's something new. Never find. I mean, I don't have anything to buy it with, but maybe if I were to buy right now, right, like something small, yeah, I just bought super like. Basically nothing. I don't have anything in the wallet, so I'm just buying what I have, right? Insufficient funds. So basically this is like something interesting, because for the first time you have like a new emoticon, and this might be interesting, might be not, but this is how you discover the coins sub 100K, and this is probably the only way, meaning that if you want to really find them early, then the only way is to look at pump.fun. And pump.fun itself does not have the best interface, so looking at Pump Vision and just staring at the screen and then, you know, checking everything is probably the best thing you can do. And then this is of course super risky. All the sub 100K coins are super risky unless you know the team and the founders. I mean, from my perspective, you know, like some of the coins, there are a couple of coins that are between 100K to 200K, and I can give you from my portfolio the coins that I like. Of course, so this is probably the best thing that you can find. So this is the equivalent of looking at the timeline on Twitter, but things like Wine, which I keep on holding, really like it, was at $3 million, is 150K market cap right now, so that's pretty low. Another one is Super S that I really like. Let me find it. For Super S, we have it here. 150 as well. At the top it was, I think, like 500K maybe. Super low again. So those are already two coins that you have at 1 to 100K, super small coins. And you have, the important thing is that you have super active teams on Twitter and Telegram, tweeting and messaging quite a lot and finding new memes. So that's very important. And I think the third coin that is super small from this list, I think it's Wawa, so the cat. This is probably one of my favorites. Cat coins, 100K. Here you go. Wawa cat, really something. But of course, this is not early. So this is something different because this coin was already founded 7 months ago. So this has completely different price action, and people are looking at different things. And usually if you find like early the coin that's go parabolic to a couple of million, then this is much harder, and there's no good recipe for that apart again from looking at Pump Vision. Because if you want to discover something new that goes fast, then basically this is a little bit like lottery, and you never know. Even if the meme is good, everything seems to be right, the coin might just not go up, people might not be interested, it might be launched at bad time of a day, which also happens, and you're just going to lose money. So there are no guarantees here, especially if you're looking for new tokens. It's much easier to find something that's, for example, has fallen a lot in this week on Monday, and I would try to do that, because right now it's probably a good time for buying if you have some kind of stable coins or even Sol that you are willing to spend. Of course, never risk anything that you don't want to lose, because meme coins are super risky. But if you have money to spend on meme coins, then that's definitely a good time, because a lot of meme coins went down in the past couple of days, especially on Monday, Tuesday. So it's a good time for finding opportunities, and you don't necessarily have to go after 100K. You can go after a couple of 100K. You can go after $1 million tokens, because just today I bought like Culture and Autism. Both are sitting below $1 million market cap. So I would say they're like very, very cheap right now. So you definitely can find opportunities. You just wait for the time to find something. So this is it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to use BullX. The link is down below. Really recommend it. I really like it. And for everything else, subscribe to